Number 15 is that AI, artificial intelligence, is going to be very important. And these are not conversations of Europe or America. Right here in Nigeria, it is already happening. AI, artificial intelligence, will change financial services radically and will change it, especially true in Nigeria. AI will leverage the huge unutilized data that the financial system generates that we don't use. And AI cannot run on analog, non-smart infrastructure. So if we are talking about AI changing the financial ecosystem, if your ecosystem, if your financial infrastructure, if your platforms are still very analog, you will not get the true benefit of artificial intelligence. In fact, other players will move past you. So things like APIs, things like Kubernetes, containerized computing, cloud computing, cloud modular agile systems, quantum computing cannot run on analog system. And they can only run and be best optimized. You can only get the best advantage of those new technologies if your platforms are modern. And this is the advantage that new players can have over traditional players because their system being more digital end-to-end will be able to take more advantage of this new artificial intelligence technology much more than traditional players. So sometimes being young can be an advantage. One of the examples I like to reflect on is that you cannot play high-level video games if you are using a VHF television. Even if you go and buy all sort of video games, if your television is a VHF system, you will not get the true benefit of the best of modern technology in terms of quantum computing, cloud, and everything that is going to be available. And some of these things are going to give advantages to those who are able to leverage them, depending on the kind of substrate infrastructure that they have. Number 16 is that being well resourced does not necessarily translate to having a smart infrastructure. There are heavy legacy transformation challenges. I will combine that with number 17, which is that one key observation we saw in the last 3 months is that the more successful and resourced a traditional institution is with analog technology, the more difficult it has been for them to be agile and respond to the transaction surge we saw in Q1. One of the observations you will see is that the traditional institutions that had the best of IT departments historically struggle to adapt to the transaction surge. In some of those organizations, their customers have to wake up at 3 a.m. to do their transactions. And that's because the platforms, those analog platforms, they are built hard-coded layer by layer infrastructure that are difficult to make flexible in light of the direction of digital payments today. So it looks like the more successful a company has been, a traditional institution has been in terms of analog technology systems, the more difficult it seems to be for them to have that flexible agile system that will respond to the massive surge and volume of digital payments that we are seeing in the ecosystem. And I beg to say that December is still coming when we are still going to go to currency change and cashless will continue. We will see many of these things we played out in Q1 probably played out again as we approach December again by the end of this year, because some of these things are not very easy to change. Number 18 is that, just very briefly on the telcos, we are seeing that for the telco PSBs, they are learning that Nigeria is well contested between what the banks have done and what the fintechs have done. Nigeria is not going to be a walk in the park for the telcos who wants to come into the financial system.